Hey, hey, hey! We are here to take a look at the new weapon refines. And I'm really excited for Byleth. So we're going to save Byleth for last. We'll start with the ones that I'm least interested in and probably like just move up the line to the ones that I'm more interested in. So we'll start with Selkie because I don't care about Selkie at all. Every time I got one, I just fought at her for Distant Ward. So let's take a look at what they gave her. New Fox Kit Fang. Oh my god, hold on. Just hold on. Last month we had the bad team working on refines. This month is supposed to be the good team. This like small little paragraph isn't giving me a lot of hope. Oh dear god. Hold on. Please don't fuck over Byleth, you dickheads. Alright. So she already... Okay, well what does her base weapon do? Because I don't even know. Special Excel, if units res is greater than or equal to, or not equal, if units res is greater than foes, red deals damage equal to 70% of the difference for a max of plus 7 damage. If units res is greater than foes, res reduces damage from foes' attacks during combat by area effect. Okay, so she has Dragon Wall and then res-based true damage up to a max of 7, and then normal beast stuff for cabs. Alright, so looks like they changed a lot in her base weapon actually. Let's take a look. So, Special Excel, the max of plus 7 damage, that's the same. Dragon Wall, 40%, that's the same. HP greater than or equal to 75% to start a combat. Gets 4 all stats to unit during combat. And then normal beast strength. Okay, so the only thing they added to her base weapon is plus 4 all stats. Not a good start. At start of combat, if unit's HP is above a quarter, grants 4 all stats to unit, neutralizes effects that guarantees foes follow-up attacks, and effects that prevents units follow-up attacks. And if unit is transformed, inflicts -4 on foe during combat. Wow, that is really fucking... That's... Oh my god, that's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, this is a bad start. Oh no. Oh god. Did the good team go on vacation? Oh, please, no. Not like this. Okay, look, she has NFU, 8 all stats. Effectively 12 all stats, because you're putting -4 on the enemy. Look, this isn't amazing. It's not... Ugh, god damn it. Look, where beast units live and die by their PRF weapon, because they don't have inheritables, this is it. Like, this is all Selkie's gonna get. Bro, if you're a Selkie fan, I am so sorry. You are sad as fuck at this. It's basically the same with me with New Year Elite last month. I had to work with what I got. And unfortunately, Selkie fans are going to have to do the same. There's not a lot going on here. So, rip. That's a big fat rip. NFU is no small thing. Like, NFU is big. But, like, it's not much. So, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's see what they did to the Mercurius. Oh god, is the good team on vacation? What's happening here? That's not a lot of text either. Now, this is the Grail unit, to be fair. I'm pretty sure I do remember what his weapon did, but let's refresh ourselves because I never use him. 3 attack at start of turn. If unit's HP is above half, 4 all stats to unit. And melee or physical units within 2 spaces for 1 turn. Now, they changed it to a quarter HP, so that's a lot better. And it's plus 6 stats instead of 4, so that's also decent. And at start of combat, if unit's HP is above a quarter, he gets 4 stats during combat. So he effectively gets plus 10 stats just in the base weapon now, which is decent. The refine, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants X to stats to unit during combat. X is equal to 4 plus highest bonus on each stat between unit and allies within 3 spaces. Calculate each stat independently. So, you know what? He got a... Offensively, he got a better... Well, no. I would say Selkie still has the better refine, to be honest, though. But for a free-to-play unit, this isn't terrible. It's just not a lot, right? So essentially, he's getting like plus 20 stats. He's just a stat ball, but like that's what he was before, and he's just a better stat ball now, I guess. So he's like... He supports a little bit better by giving 6 all stats to your allies and himself. So at base he's got 10 stats, and then with his refine, he's sharing stats between himself and his allies. But where, let's just take, he's giving out 6, so he's going to give himself another 6 plus 4 on top of his base weapon, so he's effectively giving himself plus 20 all stats. That's kind of decent. I mean, look, if he faces someone with a lull effect, he's kind of screwed, but... Well, no, because he'll still get the plus 14 at least, right? So, it's not terrible. It's actually not terrible. But okay, that's Astrum. Accidentally ended the recording, but I can just splice them together, it's fine. I knew... the end and pause are right next to each other. Usually I'm careful with it, but I knew one of these days I was going to do that bullshit. And today was that day, it would seem. Alright, so let's take a look at Forsyth. Soul Lance, when it first came out, was kind of cool. Forsyth is a pretty old unit. When did he come out? Like book 3 or something? So he had a pretty cool weapon, like he just heals himself for 10 after combat. It seems like not a lot, but at the time it was like pretty cool. He was the first unit to have a PRF weapon that had passive healing in it. Like, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but if memory serves, he basically pioneered like the self-sustain PRF weapons or whatever. So let's see what they gave him. His base weapon, I'm assuming, is going to change, so plus 3 res. When unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 14 HP to unit. Oh my god, he gets 14 HP per hit? That's fucking nuts. That's a lot of healing on hit, wow. So it's not healing outside of combat anymore. When unit deals damage to foe during combat... Oh, it was... Okay, I misunderstood. He gets 10 HP on hit on his base weapon. I thought it was outside of healing. Okay, so it's still though 14 on hit. That's fucking nuts. At start of combat, if unit's HP is above a quarter, inflicts -5 attack defense on foe and reduces the effects of deep wounds by 50%. That's really good. So he'll still get the like normal 7 healing that like other units get on hit. Yo, that's a really okay. My faith has been restored. The good team is still here. They just have interns working on Celica and Astrum. It's fine. The interns had their thing. Now we're back to the core team. Let's get it. Let's see what his Refine does. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts -5 attack dev on foe. During combat, foe cannot make a follow-up attack, and also if unit's HP is above 50%, at start of combat, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30%. Whew. Decent. Not... Again, it's not a lot compared to like other refines these days, but look, he inflicts -10 attack dev. He gets 14 healing on hit. That's a lot of healing. He denies a follow-up on the foe, which kind of may as well not even be there because NFU is everywhere these days, but still it's nice that it's there for those units that might not have NFU. And then he has 30% DR on first hit. It's good. It's not bad. You got a pretty okay Refine. And Forsyth, excuse me, is actually one of my favorite units from Shadows of Valentia. And it's literally just because he's like all green. My favorite color is green. So like he's got the green armor, the green hair. I was like, yo, I like this guy. Gave him a wind blessing just to follow suit. Yeah. That's pretty good. I might get that refined. I don't really use them, but like, I don't know. I might have some merges for him in the pocket. I'm not sure, but like he's got nothing for fodder, right? So whenever I get a copy, I just kind of save it. But yeah, I'll see if I can do anything with him later on. He's pretty good. Let's take a look at Celica. Yep. So Celica's remix was nuts. Okay. They gave her Menace, which is whatever. I mean, she's going to prefer to have 03, of course. I mean, a lot of units want 03, but Menace is decent for a remix. Now, Soul of Zofia 2. This got a huge glow up. What a buff. So, base Soul of Zofia is just NFU, and she gets Desperation 3. Zofia 2 is NFU, Desperation straight up and down, no HP conditions required, She inflicts -5 speed, reduces DR effects by half, and I think that's it. But this is a good glow up, right? Like, really good. So let's see what they gave her as a refine. Saintly Seraphim. The base weapon, let's refine. Oh, okay, they added some stuff to the base. Let's see. So the base weapon is if unit initiates, 3 speed to start. If unit initiates combat, deals damage equal to 25% of foe's resistance. So it's like the antithesis of Alm's weapon, where it's 25% of the foe's defense. So I actually kind of expected her to get a similar refine to Alm, just because they both released pretty close together, and they seem to be the antithesis of each other, right? Like, Alm worked on defense, and Celica worked on res. They both, like, Alm came with NFU. Celica had a preferential B slot that had NFU in it. So at the time, they were both functionally very similar. So let's just see if her refine follows suit. 3 speed, if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants 5 attack speed to unit during combat, and deals 25% of foe's res, including when dealing damage with it. Specials triggered by AoE. Specials triggered before combat. And then ignores reductions to res from specials, so like Moonbow and Luna and such like that. So that's more or less the same as what they changed Alm's weapon to be. He also got attack speed. I believe he also got the stipulation with AoE specials and such, and he also, well, Lunar Arc, his Lunar Flash had the stipulation where it ignored reductions from like Moonbow and Luna and such. But now, the refine part. At start of turn, if unit was in 2 spaces of an ally, grant special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat to unit for 1 turn. And also, if special cooldown count is at its maximum value, grant special cooldown count -1. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants 5 attack speed to unit during combat. Okay, that's not bad. It's actually very different from Alm. So Alm got like the wind sweep effect and stuff like that, and a bunch more speed and tempo. Now, instead of tempo, Celica gives herself a visible buff that grants her like a special charges like Heavy Blade, Flashing Blade type of deal. So like, she doesn't need to run. Usually you would run her with Flashing Blade in the seal slot, but she doesn't need that anymore, which is good because you can just give her more attack and speed. Excuse me. So that's good. Now, unfortunately, where she doesn't have a tempo effect, if she runs into an opponent who has tempo or guard, it's a little unfortunate. But like, if it's just guard, then she can still get off. Like, well, actually, no, she can't. She doesn't have special excel. That's a little unfortunate. Oh no, but she has Time's Pulse in her weapon refined, so she can still get off stuff like Moonbow and Glimmer or Ruptured Sky. So even if she's fighting someone with a guard, thanks to Time's Pulse and her refine, she can still get off stuff like Ruptured Sky and 2 cooldown specials. However, what's interesting is if you put Time's Pulse in her C slot, especially if you put in Time's Pulse 4, she could actually safely run stuff like Luna, right? Because then Luna would become a 1-turn special. And then even if she's fighting someone with guard, her special cooldown acceleration from a refine will let her ramp into that Luna. So that's pretty cool, actually. Like, Time's Pulse, even just Time's Pulse 3 is going to be really good on her, thanks to having Time's Pulse in her weapon refine. So yeah, that's really good. And she can actually, she would need some support, but if you put like Time's Pulse in her C slot, Quicken Pulse in her Seal slot, and then have her on a team with like someone with Infantry Pulse or like an Asker, for example, she could actually just have a pre-charged AoE special as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Celica got a good refine. Yeah, pretty good refine, not bad. This is giving me hope for Byleth. Now Milla was in a weird spot because her remix, like, Milla is a support unit. So I don't know why they gave her a remix that was mostly offensive, right? Or I guess defensive, but like, she's mostly meant to just sit in the back and do nothing. So like, they gave her Dragon Wall. Dragon Wall's fine, because sometimes, like, so she could, like, I guess, block something. Like, kind of protect someone else, I suppose. You could put her in the front line just to soak a hit. So Dragon Wall's fine, but, like, I'm not going to use Dragon Wall. I'm going to put, like, I usually always have a Sabotage on her. Like, I have Sabotage Speed and Attack on her, so I'm probably just going to keep using those, right? And then Milla's Turn Wheel. The best thing about it is they added Guard on top of Isolation, so that's good. But then she gives herself an auto double visible buff. When I first read that, I assumed it was like for her and allies, but it's only for herself. I was like, well, that's weird. Like, you normally don't use her to attack, but like I said before, if you were to put Dragon Wall on her, she could soak attacks quite easily, especially if the foe doesn't have NFU. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this turn wheel too. I will admit though, the guard is really nice to have on top of the isolation. Like, that is good. But anyways, let's see what the refine is, shall we? Yep. Alright, so the base weapon, let's remind myself, was just +3 defense, normal dragon shenanigans, and then +2 all stats to allies within 7 rows, 7 columns. So basically, anyone who's in front of her gets, you know, +2 all stats in combat. Now, did they change that? Grants stats plus X during combat. X is equal to the number of allies within 7 rows and 7 columns centered on unit times 2 for a max of 6. Okay, so they're still, like, buffing her to be, like, more defensive, I suppose. Like, they're buffing her combat prowess, kind of, a little bit here. So it makes her tankier, which is good, I suppose. But then, what I wanted was this. Grants 4 stats to allies within 7 rows. Okay, so she gives 4 stats instead of 2, which is good. So that's a nice change. Then the refine grants 4 stats. Just straight up and down, she gets 4 stats for free. Actually, that's good. Getting 4 visible defense on a refine is going to help her isolate Dancer Eldigan, so that's really awesome. And then, if allies are within 7 rows and 7 columns centered on a unit, unit neutralizes bonuses to foe's attack during combat. Allies within 7 rows and 7 columns centered on a unit gain neutralized bonus to foe's attack during combat. Yo! That is what I wanted to see. I wanted them to make her a better support unit, and that is really, really good. And that's not even like a visible buff, just anyone in front of her just gets that during combat, right? So that's going to be awesome for your tanks, for, like, you know, your Brave Dimitris, your Chloes, your Asker. Like, neutralizing attack just passively is a really good support effect. So that's nice to see. And she does it for herself as well, so that's actually a decent refine. I'm going to get that. Alright, good. Her refine saved her, which I was really hoping it would. I'll be back in just a sec before we look at Byleth. I need to get some water. That's better. My throat dries out when I do this much talking. Okay, so fingers crossed. Let's take a look at the Creator Sword. Oh, please be good, please be good, please be good. Okay. The base weapon, I don't know if they changed because it's still fairly decent. So base weapon is just NFU with tempo. So let's take a look. During combat, neutralizes effects to guarantees full swallow attacks, prevent use full attacks, grant special cooldown charge +X to foe, or inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit. So that's the same, NFU with tempo. If unit initiates combat or within 2 spaces of an ally, grants 4 all stats, okay. So that's like, his base weapon is really good, right? Like, it's NFU with tempo. Those are like 2 like staples that god swords like to have. And he just has it in his weapon for free. So the only thing his base weapon needed was stats. Like, it's unfortunate that it's 4 all stats instead of 5 all stats, but at least he got some stats. let's take a look at the Refine portion. At start of combat, if unit's HP is above a quarter, grants another 4 all stats to unit and reduces damage from foes' first attack by 30% during combat. If special triggers, neutralizes, reduces damage by X% effects from non-special skills. Ooh, okay. So, that is kind of cool. Interesting. So, I was kind of half wondering if I'd want to put Spiral 4 on him, but like, his Weapon Refine has that neutralizes DR effect. Interesting. I was really hoping that he would get a Weapon Refine that gave him like a Times Pulse 4, basically, in his Refine. But like, this is not bad at all. This is not bad. Now, it's not as good as I was hoping it would be. But basically, he's got 8 all stats, 30% DR on first hit, and then when his special triggers, he ignores DR. While, like, normal DR, he still doesn't ignore stuff like Aegis, or, well, not Aegis, Pavis or Escutcheon, stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty good, especially since he has Special Excel, right? Alright, you know what? It's not as nuts as I was hoping it would be, but it is good. It is pretty good. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They didn't want to make it too crazy because he does have that straight up NFU and tempo in his weapon, right? And like that tempo effect is pretty common just as a refine portion for a lot of other units, so as I said, he really just needed stats. And then everything else is a bonus. Alright. Alright, check this out. Allow me to show you, quite possibly the most powerful Byleth that will ever exist. Goddamn, that was a lot of fodder I just used. Oh god, so many resources. The flowers. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to use the Filaret, but I was like, you know what? After everything else, why not? Let's just fucking do it. Hell yeah. He's here, and he's ready to instruct, I guess. So anyways, yeah. Obviously I like Byleth quite a lot. I don't really talk about him that much, but yeah, Byleth is a character that I like quite a lot, so. And I've been waiting so long for his refine, because I plus 10'd him quite a while ago, but like, with no stats in his weapon, he just fell off so hard because he just, like, every new unit in like all the other refines, he just fell so behind in stats. He just didn't have the speed, he didn't have the bulk, but now he is back, and I just realized something. Okay, now he's ready. I forgot to actually refine his weapon. Okay, he's here and he's ready to instruct. There, forget everything I said before, and now it's pretend I just said it right now. All right, so yeah, obviously I'm pretty happy with the refine. Like I said before, it's not everything I hoped it would be, but it's good enough, and I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you very much. Let me know what you thought of the refines. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be a summoning session for the bunnies. The bunnies are coming. Oh, are they coming? All right. Peace out, y'all. See you in the next one.